Let's get some political analysis now. Republican strategist and chairman of the Fort Bend County Republican Party in Texas, our friend Bobby Eberle. Bobby, welcome back, sir.
Hey, Ed, great to be here.
Your thoughts on the way forward here, because that mention there at the end about President-elect Trump, who had previously been very skeptical of TikTok and their ties to China. Then there were a lot of young conservatives who jumped on the social media app in the campaign, and they liked Trump. So maybe now he likes TikTok, but he says, look, it's got to be the way to get the communist Chinese out of this. And you got Kevin O'Leary of Shark Tank and other big investors saying maybe there's a way to get China out of it, but keep this popular app alive. You think that's going to work?
Well, it's worth a try. I mean, as you alluded to, I mean, Trump has really gone full circle with TikTok, and he sees the power of it. He sees the influence, and he sees young conservatives. It's a way to bring them on board, just as he reached out to podcasters during the campaign. And I think what Trump is really trying to do is just buy himself some time so that this administration could get a handle on it. I mean, January 19th, the day before his inauguration, is when everything is supposed to shut down. And I mean, there's arguments on both sides. What's interesting is for people to realize that this company, ByteDance, is owned basically by the Chinese Communist Party. And we know how these companies work. They are responsible. Part of their mandate is basically to feed intelligence back to the Communist Party of China. So if he can buy himself some time to figure this out, get some American or non-Chinese ownership, Kevin O'Leary is Canadian, I believe, that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and maybe there's a way. There's deep concerns, as you suggest, about the Chinese using TikTok to influence young Americans in not a positive way. Let's just call it what it is. Speaking about controversies out there, what's going on in California right now? I mean, overnight, we saw the fact that there are now arsonists in the crosshairs. They're not giving us a lot of information out there in LA in terms of who they have as suspects and whatnot. But the Democrats have spent the better part of the week saying this is all about climate change and global warming. And now we're seeing videos on social media that suggest that this very well could be arson. And on top of those potential crimes, I wonder what you think when there's these reports in the LA Times and elsewhere tonight that the reservoir that was at the center of this was empty, essentially, and whether or not there's a possibility of top officials like Newsom not just being held politically accountable, but criminally accountable here.
Well, I think that's something really good to listen to and to examine. And what we have here is such a failure in leadership and just this glowing example of left-wing policies gone crazy. I mean, these arsonists that are stepping forward now, just adding, fuel to the fire in a very literal sense. But these leftists that throw out climate change and they throw it out there like it's just, yeah, that's what it is. But you look at rain data in this area and it's up and down and up and down ever since they've been recording the data. So to say that also puts the impetus back on them. So if you think climate change is such a big deal, what have you done to prepare for it? Because it seems like they're doing the opposite, not clearing out these forests, no water in the fire hydrants, and no firefighters to fight. So it's a failure up and down.
And Donald Trump has called it out, as he always does, blunt and to the point. In the last minute we have, interesting that at the big funeral yesterday, a lot of people speculating what was Barack Obama and Donald Trump talking about. They seem to be getting along. There's lip readers saying maybe Donald Trump is suggesting they should speak privately. Maybe there's some big investigations coming down the pike when he takes over. We shall see. But we noticed this photo that the Carter Center has now posted of all the living presidents and vice presidents. In some of the photos that they're now posting, there's one that's coming up here. There's a column in the way of, there it is. And you see Obama, but not Trump right next to him. They post this photo. They got Kamala, they got Biden, they got Clinton, they got Hillary, they got George W. There's no Trump.
Right. Yeah. You know what? That's the first time I saw that photo. And that's just classic, right? But I love the fact that this is going viral. I mean, just those guys chatting it up. I mean, they were clearly listening to each other, clearly engaging and chuckling and just sharing what appeared to be a lighter moment. And you contrast that with Kamala's face. I mean, like she just ate a whole lemon or something. It was just so bad. And I love that it's going viral and just people are eating it up.
Yeah, and she's got no love lost there between Kamala Harris and
That's
Joe
for sure.
Biden either. Bobby Eberle, have a great week. I appreciate you coming in.
Thanks, Ed.
All right, friends, thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button above. Once you do, tell your friends, share it, spread the word about the 13-minute news hour so we can keep growing. And for more great content, check out these videos right here, and I'll see you next time.